Oh, um, I'm waking up feeling really, really unhealthy. My heart just obviously something's going on there. I think there's an issue with my blood flow. But I expect that. With radiation and what they do to me, it's meant that physically things are happening, and breathing is getting harder, and the things that you've heard at the target individuals. But the truth is, the psychological breakdown, the psychological torture is the worst. I'm surrounded by this trash that do these things, and you hear them doing their best to try to make me accept. You hear this noise campaign is all try to intimidate me to accepting this disturbingness. And listen to this trash. They contract a lot of these childlike individuals, and those are the entities that are running the show. Those like intelligence community entities are contracting this trash, and there's people like that yell out things from the window. At least that's what it sounds like. Very cowardly though. They not on the balcony. They're like maybe from a window. Just indicating the level of cowardness these people have to even maintain. But they use childlike individuals where I don't think cowardness is something they care about. And so they try to make you identify with things they force you to experience. There's a few things that's disturbing, and my brain has been so manipulated. The logic and rationality is just fading out. And I'll never let them live the fantasy. These people have done the same things to others, and it's disgusting. I just saw an old friend of mine in college. We used to go to college at the same time, so we enjoyed our time there together. And I remember before August 19, 2019, he has several kids, but I remember his first children started, before that. And I remember being able to see him, his little baby, and his new babies. Now I go on Instagram, I see his family picture. He has a beautiful family, beautiful little girls, beautiful kids. It's just so sad. And they try to force me to look at them in this weird sexual way. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. It's just the way they can manipulate your perception and give you sensation and feelings that are nasty. They manipulate you in these disturbing ways. And yesterday I could hear this childlike individuals like, "No, we know what you like beautiful." I was like, "You nasty. You just turn things into disturbing things." Beautiful little girl now turns into something like disturbing in my head. Then they try to go into like this back and forth and create this weird dialogues in my brain that they themselves have created. That's nasty. But you gotta understand that they want to, they know that they're gonna, whatever they want you to experience, you're gonna experience because of the technology can override you, right? With time it gets worse. But the frustration from them is they want you to accept this as if it's happening organically. They want you to identify with this instead of what's happening to me right now is I see them for the low life and the pedos that they are. I truly see them for that. I understand there's assignment. What they're supposed to be doing is to make me believe that this way I should feel guilty for this way of perceiving things when I know that I'm being manipulated to perceive things in these ways. And this trash, these bottom feeders, who are childlike individuals, I mean, you see them like you don't even know who you are. You think you're gonna tell me who I am and I'm gonna subscribe to these falsifications of reality you put together? You're like damn near a child. I know who I am. I know what you're supposed to be doing to me. And so you hear them using different tonality. No, it's you. Like, what do you think you speaking this tonality is going to make me subscribe to this? This is what you guys do. You've turned things into disturbing, perverse ways. And they try to make you accept my brain. The dialogues, I don't even want to address this. My brain has gone to a level of retardation that is unbelievable. So disgusting. And the dialogues, the back and forth that they force you to have in your brain. I've seen before, before I got to this level, I remember seeing somebody talking about the same thing, right? And she was trying to express herself, but it was tough. She was saying the different dialogue and say, there's this P2K thing, and, if I was in a target individual, I would be like, this person's, something's not right. But now I'm like, I understand. They create dialogues in your brain. And because this technology has the ability to override your brain, they have the ability to start manipulating your brain. It is unbelievable to think that there is technology right now that has the full capability to manipulate you and manipulate your thoughts. But that's the case. Unfortunately, I found out, but because I became one of the subjects that these people are experimenting on. One of many, very many. At first, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was just me. Like, this is happening just to me. Like, and then finding out there's a lot of people going through this same thing, and we're just subjects. And some of these people are very, very vulnerable, to say the least. And they've been using the same tactics. They use these pedophilia type of tormenting tactics to break the target individual. And then you hear these bottom feeders yelling whatever they can to disorient you, to make you accept these things. Try to get you to accept this. This lowlife renowned for using pedophilia type of torture and also torture children sexually. These people, and they use truly childlike individuals, and just not me. It's not only me. You hear other target individuals saying, these people sound like middle schoolers. Either they make themselves sound this way, either they actually use children like that, but they sound like childlike individuals. To agitate you, to disturb you, to disorient you. And you're supposed to accept these disturbing ways of perceptions. That just disturbed me so much. And it's so sad. And it's like, now they make me imagine a very beautiful little girl and just giving me sexual stimulation. It's like, no, that's why you're attracted. No, you're forcing me to get stimulation. It's so nasty. It's disturbing. And they use this trash, trying to use this tonality. It's like, oh, it's over, it's you. Try to make herself sound like very innocent. This trash working for pedophiles. It's nasty. So, target individuals, I make videos because I want to always be able to make sure I say what I need to say, but also they want you to identify these things. They want you to identify to these things. They want you to be accepting of what's happening to you as if it's happening to you organically. They keep telling me how it's over. I'm like, yes, it's over for me. It begins for you. That's how it goes. But watch how it ended for me. From the beginning, I never subscribed. I've been more validated, but with time, as they manipulate me more and more, I've been saying the same thing. Validation have been augmenting or increasing, and then it's over. While this trash have been countering, covering up, doing everything possible, going through the scripts and repetitions to block out reality, as more and more validation comes through. So you gotta be strong. Whatever's happening to me next, I'm gonna go straight to it. Yesterday they tried to intimidate me with a few people, and I was not intimidated. At one point, there's one guy, he kind of annoyed me because I can see he's like, you just did something else. But I saw another guy, he's more like a younger guy who's like more like strict individual. The first guy is more like a adult, serious guy, and that guy kind of annoyed me because he's too. You can see the maturity in this guy. He's just too much. You know what you're involved in. Whatever is happening to my brain, that's how they manipulate people to think. So if somebody talks about how they force them to change their mind, their thoughts, make them think in these pedophilia ways, you know what? There's a trend here. There's a pattern here. This is not happening organically. I know myself. In my mind, they try to make me think of me as a kid. They're like, no, but when you were a kid, it's like, stupidity. To try to come up with their reality. It's like, no, but her eyes, remember they try to make me imagine this little girl's eyes, and then when I was a kid, and then give me stimulations. I feel this delusional stuff. I know who I am. This is the things you make me experience today. And try to make me feel stimulations. It's nasty. It's so nasty. They do whatever they can to break you down, to accept these pedophilia things. And they're like, no, we know what you... It's like, yes, you know me so you can manipulate me. You know me so you can change me into something else. You're trying to erase me that you know and create something, a me that you want me to be. That's what's happening. This trash at the bottom feeders. Target individual, you're going to hear all kind of perps. You've seen some picture of them. Full family, kids. If you look at this trash, it's like you're doomed already. I'm talking about doomed in a different way. Not doomed the way I'm doomed, but doomed in the worst way. And I'm not even talking about spiritually or religiously. You can look at these people and say, let me say, I can be boiled and stewed alive, but what you're involved in is so nasty. You know it's gonna come back. You know, I was listening to they always tell me how I'm gonna be tortured. They're gonna stew you. They're gonna slowly burn you, and then you'll die. You're gonna become soup, whatever. And you know, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be horrible. I don't want that, but this is better than living the life that these people live. Because they don't need to be. I don't wish for them to be stewed or burnt. Like, I don't know. I want that the good old-fashioned ways, the organic ways. That's the worst. Because they have things to live for, truly. That means there's so much more that can happen to them. So much, and slowly and worse. Me, I feel like this. I'm not fearful of death. There's nobody, like, it's just me. My death is gonna come regardless. And I feel honorable and dignified, and I'm not subscribing to this nastiness. However ways they try to make me imagine things, I'm gonna deal with. It's gonna come in my brain the way they want it, but I'm never gonna identify with them because they've been doing the pedophilia things for a long time. They've been humiliated. That's why they like to use childlike individuals, because these childlike individuals are gonna be like, oh, we're so childish, we can't even understand that there's so much patterns of pedophilia type of torture. That's the kind of gimmicky thing they try to be like, oh, we're so kid-like, you know. You keep bringing up these testimonies of others saying that we're too childish to see the obvious pattern here. I was like, no, you know exactly what you do. You call it being at war. You're not at war. Maybe you're at war with your own conscience, but you're trash. And they try to use the agitating tone of voices, but they have been scarce. I mean, they don't want to be seen. And they tell me how they're ready, we're ready. It's like, please, I look forward. And when they say they're ready, and that's, I'm sorry for like jumping and saying random things. When they speak like that, we're ready, is the V2K. They use childlike individuals, and I swear, I'm not even trying to be funny, but that's how they sound. They're ready for whatever frame I'm gonna be put through. So what I'm trying to say here, and I know it sounds crazy, is because I'm trying to organize my thoughts in a way that's you can comprehend. As I make videos, I hear the V2K. That's the time they're supposed to interrupt me, so I can lose touch of the right perception of things. Every time something bad, every time there's some nasty manipulations, some pedophilia related manipulation, you hear them say something. Oh, we're ready. Right? That's the kind of things they say, the V2K, which is sound like a childlike individual. And when they say that, usually, to me, what it means is something is coming up. They're gonna frame me somehow. Some of the things they've said is they've implanted cocaine in my apartment or some kind of drugs. They implanted child porn. They implanted child porn on my computer. Or somebody here, some childlike individual, some kid here, some 13, 14-year-old kid here, said that did something to them. I've been like, maybe they've been creating things that I'm not aware. I know they have access of all kind of, they can do everything, right? They can make it seem like I've been talking to this person. I've been like, like, I don't know that. But that's what they've been kind of saying. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, in regard of me, I don't know what kind of frame, if they're going to frame, but which way they're going to frame me. But this is what they like to say every time they do these manipulations. So I can identify with these pedophilia things they do to people. And then they tell me you're going to die in our hell, which is, they say they're going to be framing me, you're going to go to some prison where it's going to be hell. Things are going to happen to you, you're going to be raped, tortured, and everything else. and then you're gonna die. This is what they've been saying day in and day out. Now, I'd rather die in these ways than having to live this bottom feeder life. I went to the hallway. I was see this guy. I guess he wanted to show that he was able to eat because they're doing things to my intestines, right? And so digesting is becoming harder and harder. I think there'll be a point where I will not be able to digest completely. And this is the things that's going through. I understand. But he, I think, wants you to show off, like, oh, listen, I'm getting this food that you can eat. I'm like, oh, please eat your nasty things. Actually, you're killing my appetite. Because it's nasty. It's disgusting. But that's what they do. And then they try to go and pretend like, no, we're doing it for what you did as a kid. You remember when you were a child with the stupid thing you did to yourself? I'm like, what? They've been torturing children. They've been torturing children and their family and their parents. They torture them sexually. They would tell me, for the theatrical, I keep bringing that word, the theatrical of my torture is going to be crazy. Because they are trying to counter reality. They are trying to cope with what they're part of. I mean, we're talking about people involved in torturing babies, 3-week-old babies, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old. This is what they're involved in. And so they always going to try to cope with what they do by countering reality. As I said that, somebody said, oh, they're ready for you, to interrupt me from saying that they torture children, from the babies to the toddlers, to the older kids, to the 9-year-old, to the... They do all these things, burning them, torturing them, right? And they do this from the comfort of whatever remote area they're in. And so to counter that, they have to create a theatrical experience to make it seem like, oh, we're doing this to him because what he did as a kid, because what he's experiencing today is him naturally. We're not manipulating him, it's him. Look at him, he's going to be tortured this way. Would it not be him if you... These people who are renowned to do this pedophilia type of torture literally force people to experience pedophilia experiences. Meaning that you look at a child, some weird pedophilia perceptions you experience, you get stimulations, literally libido manipulation. They'll play with your libido. You have dreams that are pedophilia-centric. Your thoughts are pedophilia-centric. They make you imagine some disturbing child porn-like thoughts. And then they're like, oh no, it's you. We match it to you when you were a kid. No, you did not match it to me when I was a kid. You making me experience this today, and I know what I did as a child. It's not what you wish it was. It's something stupid that a kid is capable of doing once. But you guys who do this pedophilia type of torture, who are renowned to manipulate people in these disturbing pedophilia ways, manipulate your perceptions in these disgusting ways. For example, looking at my friend or my old friend, family picture, and see his kids, beautiful kids, and turn into something sexual. It gave me stimulations. It's like, no, we match it to you when you were a kid. No. You nasty bottom feeders. I was able to see his babies before that. I remember his first baby and everything with no problem. They just go, oh, no, she was not pretty. She was cute. She's very adorable. But now if I look at his babies, they're going to mess with me. It's like, no, what about the older? All of this is so nasty. Because today, I don't have my own perception. Today, I'm manipulated by people who force people to perceive children in a pedophilia ways. It's so nasty. They make you have sexual stimulations of some sort. I can speak this way, but I'm not experiencing it. In my brain, it's going to be nasty. They're going to try to counter with illogicalness, with rationality, with ways of thinking that to counter what I'm saying. And they say, no, we match day. No, you've been conditioning my brain day in and day out since August 19, 2019 to look at babies in this disturbing way, especially little girls. It's so nasty. Then you try to make me accept these things that you've done to so many others, but tell me that you matched it to me as a child. And think that me at mid to late 30 will be subscriptive to think that what you're doing is to make me think like a child, and I'm going to subscribe to that? You who are renowned to do this pedophilia type of torture, these bottom feeders are delusional. I don't know how much money they're making. I don't know how, but I hope they do it for free sometime. It's like, yeah, please, I hope that they compromise like this for free. It's even better. But they tell me how I'm gonna be stewed, tortured, burned, and it's meant to create this theatrical of a torture. And I was watching this video, and they talk about this Mexican cartels that use these tactics, and they're like, yeah, this is how it's gonna happen to them. But these people, it's so disturbing. This cartel also torture kids in these ways. They will like burn kids alive in this way. It's so disturbing. I mean, we're talking about evil to another level, but to burn babies and kids. And I'm thinking, like, you see, imagine they tell you they're burning babies. They're doing these things to kids. They're stewing kids like that. They're burning kids like that. You as an adult, you're gonna be like, what? If they can do that to babies, I'll jump out. Let's go. This is crazy. Because this is how I feel. These people do these horrible things to babies. They torture babies. They torture women. These nasty pedos, low life, that do noise campaign, that do these things, are the bottom feeders working for pedophiles. And you find out these entities are filled with pedos, doing things to 2-year-old and 6-year-old, and this trash out here try to rewire people's brain in this disturbing ways. Now we match, we watch, and I watched, and we matched it. That's actually, I don't care what you watch. I'm not subscribing to your matchings. You're just manipulating my brain. I wish that you continue to dedicate your life doing these nasty, foul things, and you see how karma comes to you. Because you're God now, quote unquote. But you're truly a nothing. And nothing like you calling me nothing means great, a good thing for me. Because I don't want you a nothing to call me a something. To all my target individuals, do not subscribe. I'm not perfect. Yesterday I was watching adult content. Throughout the whole process of me watching that, they were trying to rewire my... It was so disgusting. When I climax, they tried to... Like, they will play with my... They will play with my genital and create this, like, contractions and try to make me think of kids. It was so nasty. It's just that's how they train your brain. So... These testimonials are always going to be meant to describe what's happening to me. Sometimes I understand it's hard to understand what I'm saying because it's so unbelievable to describe what's happening to you, because it's a lot of manipulation, a lot of thought manipulation that are just damn near illogicalness. I mean, with time, what I'm realizing is my brain is becoming more and more illogical, meaning that the thoughts process has been so rewired in a so irrational, so childlike, I don't even want to say, but spectrum-like. And then this trash try to sell the spectrum-like of thinking by making noise campaign to try to make me identify, try to gaslight me into accepting these things. These people who are renowned, you see them as like, I know you do the pedophilia things to people. I know you do the pedophilia type of torture. I know this. You watch or not, I know. I'm not going to let you escape. I know you guys work for entities filled with pedophiles. You can make me experience whatever you want, because this technology has the capability to override your thoughts and manipulate you to think in these disturbing ways, which is meant to degrade you and break you down psychologically. It's part of your torture. You are hired, or you are contracted, or you're participating knowing that this is your assignment. Go through your trash, make noise campaign. I'll never let you escape. I know who I am. I'll never identify with this nastiness. However you make me look at these babies, disgusting trash. Tell my target individuals, stay strong, because these bottom feeders, these low lives are gonna try to make you accept these things. If you don't know yourself, if you have doubts, they're gonna try to do everything possible to get you to accept these things. I'd rather be dying than living life healthy doing what they do. Imagine I'm sitting there watching somebody saying exactly what my assignments. And he's saying that my job is to make somebody look at kids in these pedophilia ways. What a fucked up, what a sad life to live. Disturbing life. Whatever they do to cope with it. No, this is bottom feeder. I'm glad I'm dying like this. Told my target individuals stay strong because you know justice will be done for the nasty things they've done to people and how they make you experience things. They're just the bottom feeders. Look at their life already. This is them living in their lavish way. They don't make me envious in no ways. Just trash. I look at them for the low life that they are. And I'll never identify with these things. Whatever ways it make me perceive these babies. But you gotta be strong. Because right now they're playing my genital, making me think of these babies and try to create some illogical ways of making me acceptive of these things. Stay strong.